welcome to the Group X podcast. It's so good to meet you and see you.
Thank you so much for having me, Tony. It's an absolute pleasure.
Great. Hey, as I do with all of them, I'd like to kick it off by asking you to actually give us a little bit of background about yourself and how you got into the fitness industry. So where does your journey begin?
Sure. So, going back, 23 years ago, I started at Les Mills in New Zealand, and I was going to all the classes in Wellington. That's where I grew up in, and absolutely fell in love with group fitness. I went to every single class, and one lady came and tapped me on my shoulder, and you never forget that person's name, Tracy Minnock. She changed my life, and she
She's
said
an
to
awesome woman.
she's amazing. She's incredible. And she said, hey, would you like to come to trial, like for a aerobics academy course to become an instructor? And obviously I had a few doubts, but I said, hey, why not? Let's give it a go. And 6-week intensive course. And I got qualified as a body step instructor. And this is the
Cool.
year 2000. And never looked back ever since. My whole life has changed. So I've been
So
doing
just on that, you
yeah.
said Group Fitness Academy course. Is that
Yes,
like the basics of Cert 3 or is that just like
correct.
the gel group
Yeah,
exercise leader?
it's the basics of set three. You cover everything you cover, even with nutrition. They cover you for nutrition. It is pretty intense. 6 weeks, full
Wow.
time.
Yeah.
They drill you. There were times where literally they train you through all the kinds of it's pretty awesome.
Yep.
Even to the point that a few times I almost ran to the toilet and almost threw up because it was that intense from time. But I
Yep.
hated it back then, but I absolutely love it, and I know now
Yep.
why they do that. They're
Yep.
really, really their level is incredible, that
Yes.
high. So
Yep.
absolutely love it, and yeah, never looked back. Anyway, so fast forward, oh gosh, in 2010. I started doing my own thing basically because dance was my baby. This is where my passion lies. Did all
Yep.
kinds of programs, but I always found like a little gap in the fitness industry in the sense of people wanted to go to classes to have fun,
Yep.
not thinking it's a workout. Turn all the lights off, so non-intimidating environment, simple moves, so everyone can follow because some dance can be quite complex. So
That's true.
yeah,
Yep.
so slowly, I started doing my own classes, called it Hala Fitness, and then it started getting really popular. And then one of the ladies that used to come to classes for about 6 months came to me, shook me again. It was always the shoulder, shook me again, said, "Hey, you need to protect your brand. What is this? What do you call it?" I'm like, Hala Fitness, but I don't know. I want to. I've always thought about it, but I just don't know how. So we had the house. She brought in all the IT skills. Her and her husband brought the team together, and Club Fiesta was born 4 years ago.
Brilliant.
It's I still obviously do other classes. Some Les Mills. I still do body pump, body. I don't teach body jam anymore, but
Yep.
I still teach body pump from time to time. Body step if they're really really desperate. But yeah, this is how it came about. It's just been incredible and so, um, you know, popular ever since then. I absolutely love
Yep.
it. Yeah.
So are you still based in Wellington now, or have you moved over here to
No, so
Australia?
I'm in Perth. So I moved
Okay.
to Australia in 2005.
Yep.
So it's been a few years, and I looked for all the Les Mills, gyms, and they said, all the gyms have Les Mills. So I went
Yep.
and taught body step, and I got qualified for as after not long after. And in the space of 5 years, I got qualified for body pump and body jam. So I
Yep.
started teaching step and pump and jam, and then some other dance programs, and that's where I kind of started leaning
To do.
more
Yeah.
towards. Yeah, and I got my own
Yeah.
community classes and taught other dance programs, but my classes started getting, the numbers were really getting higher and higher, and all the other classes were
Yep.
lower and lower. So I thought, hey, let's deviate more that way and focus
Yeah.
more on what's working basically for
Yep.
me. And so obviously that's how it came about. Yeah,
I
very
love it.
very
I
cool.
think that's following your passion as well. You realize that your dream and your passion is dance. So focusing more on that, and obviously looking at what you were teaching as well, noticing the attendance in those classes is probably a bit higher than what they were in the other formats that you were teaching. I think that's
Correct.
wonderful that you've actually followed your dream and passion and put all that into practice to be able to design a program that's obviously being working out there as well.
Absolutely, yeah. I mean, it's good because it's different from all the other dance programs. It's got the
Yep.
exercise aspect to it as well. Not many people know that when they hear about Club Fiesta, they think, oh, it's just dance. oh, it's dance, it's all salsa, or it's all, shaking the hips. I mean, we do have a lot of shaking of the hips, but we do have a
Yep.
plyometrics you can expect to do because it's more of a hit kind of dance.
Okay.
I
Yep.
added the aerobics because I'm an aerobics Oz style person. I
Yep.
used to do all
Yep.
this aerobics Oz at home, and following those beautiful ladies and the gentlemen that used to
Yep.
do it, and I absolutely loved it. So
Yep.
I still love the aerobics, and I want people to leave the
Yes.
class
Yeah.
having a feeling like they're really sweating and had a
Yep.
great workout, not just move. I mean, dance is a big part of it, but not just.
No,
We
look,
have the
that's
different.
you're leading into the next question I was going to ask you
Okay,
anyway, because
sorry.
I'll be honest and say, no, no, it's great. Because where I was actually, when the research that I did, for me on the outside, it looked just like a dance format, a dance program. So that's why I'm going to say to you now, tell us exactly what Club Fiesta is, if you can.
Yeah,
For a brand newbie like myself, if I was to come along, what would I expect
yeah.
when I
So
turn
we
up to do the class?
Absolutely. It's a great question, Tony. So Club Fiesta, we always say it's a dance fitness exercise program designed for everyone. We cater to all levels, and
Yep.
it's also we always stress the fact that it's a dance hit program. So you can expect to do some boxing. So we have a couple of boxing tracks in there, like pretty intense. You can do some cardio. So the cardio hit kind of like sort of in between MetaFit and Body Attack, you can call it, if
Okay.
you've done any of these kind of classes. So it's
Yep.
got the knees
Yep.
and kicks and, Supermans and the, sprints, mountain climbers, burpees, that kind of things. And we also have some recovery tracks in between it. So we mesh it. So we do like a high intensity cardio, and then we do like a hip hop kind of twerky, you know, we basically
Okay.
we can do a Latin, and then you can do, and it's simple. So it's very, it's, we kind of like brought it down to about maybe no more than 5 steps per song. Super
Yep.
simple, easy to follow. We try and always cater to not always changing directions or changing the footwork and things like that. We're always trying to keep it simple to one side and then slowly shift it to the other side. So it's cardio plus dance plus, it's very aerobic kind of dance class. So even if you feel like you've got 2 left feet, you can
Yep.
actually do the class. I am pretty confident.
So, so what you're telling me is I would be able to do the
You would
class.
absolutely be able to do it without a doubt in the world. You've got a fitness background, you've
Yeah, but
done aerobics,
I have
you can
I have
do it.
two left feet though. Yeah,
It doesn't
I've got
matter.
two.
I
I
can.
failed at Zumba. I got to say
It,
that I failed at Zumba.
Zumba is, I mean, we all dance and fitness exercise programs. They're all amazing and incredible in their own way,
Yep,
but it's definitely less, more simpler than Zumba.
yep,
Like we
sure.
definitely lessen the steps heaps to sometimes only have 3 moves. And it
Yep,
loops over and over and over. We mesh it into the music, so we don't just, so we let the music do the talking, but yeah, just it's very repetitive. But we just change a
okay.
few things. So
Yep,
sometimes, even though we do a lot of single, double knee lifts, sometimes we do different arms to it to make it more exciting. But it's
yep,
still, people know the moves. So
okay.
we get all sorts of demographic from, in my community class, I get a 9-year-old that always comes with her mum, to actually my oldest has been 81, 81
Brilliant.
years old.
Yep,
Very, and they're the ones that are doing burpees on the floor. I'm just like, oh
yep,
dear Lord,
yeah,
they're incredible. So
yep,
and we always offer options. So obviously, I always tell my instructors, if you don't want to do a burpee, hey, you don't have to do a burpee. You don't ever need to do it. We always give squat option, or we do a couple of things. Sprints, you can do lunges instead of a sprint. Or that's why it's catered for everyone, so no one is left
brilliant.
behind.
This is the Group X podcast.
No, I love it. And it sounds to me that from what you just said then, it's catering to more than the normal gym goer. It's catering just outside of that normal gym goer that is attracting people to want to do fitness that are feeling, as you said earlier on, a little bit intimidated about walking into a gym. If it's in a
Exactly.
community centre, they're feeling a little bit less intimidated because there might be a smaller group and not having to walk through a gym where there's guys lifting weights or a whole lot of other
Hmm.
people fitness people or so-called influencers these days that think they're fitness people, and that's a whole other podcast. We won't go down there tonight.
I think I know where you're going with that one. Yes,
Yeah.
yes.
I like the fact that the inclusivity side of things is that there, as you're saying, there's someone that in their 80s can actually get in to do it, and you've got options throughout the class, so that it makes them feel part of what's going on.
Absolutely.
well.
It's very important because there's so many people, and I've noticed like when they become moms, they especially when they lose their fitness, they lose their confidence, and a lot of people will go, I don't want to go back to the gym because I feel intimidated. I feel like I'm in between all these people that are looking amazing and wearing all these clothes and all these. I go into a class and I see all these. Everyone is knowing what they're doing, so I am actually really like to target those people as well and say, hey, we turn all the lights off, we put a little bit of disco lights on. If you really feel like that, hide in the back, and I don't see any people in the back anyway, but just do your own thing. Just absolutely do your own thing. Make it your happy hour. Even if it does, and I always say in the beginning, it doesn't matter if you don't get the moves, just do a little step touch, just keep moving to the music, and then you'll catch up with it. Do your thing, have fun. That's what it's all about, isn't it? Group fitness, as long as you're safe.
You touched on something there, which I think is which I want to go down that path for a second. A lot of people, when they think of going to a gym, think that people are going to be staring at them. Oh no, I'm so unfit, I can't do that. People are going to look at me.
Absolutely.
They're not. Yeah, and the people that are there are, I'd say a good probably 80% of them are not fit. They're there to get fit. So, I totally appreciate that's I suppose the perception that a lot of people have in going to a gym. Oh, no, I need to be fit to go. I remember people saying years ago before walking into a cycle studio, oh, no, I've got to be fit to go in that room. Hell no. You walk in there to get fit. The same with your program is that people go there to get fit, whether it's in a gym or whether it's in a community centre, community hall. People of all ages, shapes, sizes, everything are all welcome together. And the fact that as I said again, you're developing something or have developed something that is catering to those people and allows them to come along, whether they are, as you're saying, I think it was Good Life you said you were teaching at. Some of those clubs would have a lot of members, coming in, but you've also catered for the other aspect of in the community hall where, some people that are in their 70s, 80s don't feel confident in coming in. I think well done.
Absolutely. Thank you. It's really, it's incredible to see also the journey of the people when you're teaching regular classes day in, day out. And like when I first started teaching at Good Life, which is 2.5 years ago, I was covering I will never forget that day because it was about, between 30 to 35 people. So it's a fairly big class. The lady, literally the manager that was there, she said 2 days before, she said that instructor, she teaches Shabam and she's leaving. So we don't have anyone. Would you like to cover with Club Fiesta? And I said, and this is the first class ever in Good Life. And I said, let me give it a crack. Why not? It's not really dance, but let's just give it a go. I went in there. There was 55 people because they've heard about Club Fiesta, but they just wanted to give it a go. Yeah. I swear to God, I went in and there was all these people going, what is this? What's going on? It was just a very interesting day. I would say maybe 8 people walked out after the third track. About maybe another 5 kind of like kept stopping to the side, having a drink, looking at me going, what the hell is going on? Because I was, it was pretty more, it wasn't just dance, like we had a boxing and we had the plyometrics and then we were dancing, and it was very, very different for them. So the feedback after that to myself and the manager, they said, we expected dance. What is this? What is this? I cannot do a burpee. And I'm like, you don't have to do all that. So we spoke a bit about it. And I said to them, give it another go. Just try it like another class. Don't just give up straight away. Because people are so used to something and they, not sometimes they don't like change. It's just a human thing, Yes. So these people, to cut a long story short, these people were though in the back, and I'm talking about, again, in their 50s and their 60s ladies. They are in the front row right now showing me how the burpee is done. Some of them not doing a burpee, but they're doing the lunges, and some of them are shaking their hips. And they're just, they're the ones that said, I can't do it. I don't think I can do it. And they're right in the front right now. And it just comes to show how if you just, patient with them and believe and tell them, hey, you can do it. Just this, because a lot of people have this blockage of, I can only do one thing and that's it.
100%.
And
As you nailed it there when you said people don't like change.
mm,
How
yeah,
dare you change my class? It's
yeah,
been
yeah,
this class for the last 7 years, and now just because that instructor's there not
yeah,
there anymore, you mean I'm going to have to change what I'm
yeah,
doing?
yeah.
Yes, it's called fitness, and I'll guarantee you, if you've been doing that class for 7 years,
Mm,
your fitness sort of went up and then plateaued and did the same, and you're probably
absolutely.
maintaining fitness, but you're not actually improving fitness at the same time.
And this is
So,
why we change it a lot. Absolutely. Yeah,
yeah,
yeah. So it's
no,
really
I think that's
incredible.
awesome. That's nice to understand that it's more than dance
Mm,
as well. You've got other stuff in there, but it's, as you said again, catering to so many different people. I think with any new program, as you put it into a gym, you're always going to get good and bad feedback. Yeah,
absolutely.
yeah. You're going to
Absolutely.
get the negative at first, but if they give it a shot, they'll accept change eventually.
Absolutely. And
And,
now these people are like, they're always asking for Club Fiesta. When is the next Club
yeah,
Fiesta? And they want more of it, which is really incredible to see. So
yeah,
this is why I'm always, working with Good Life and say, give me more instructors and I'll train
yeah.
them. And, it's just been an incredible journey so far. Really, really grateful.
Brilliant.
So, thank you.
How did the name Club Fiesta come about?
We just pick of a hat, I guess. We the whole team sat down and we just like, give me some names, just throw me some names, and we thought about all these like flamingo, fiesta, crazy power stuff, and
Yep,
fiesta. We thought because fiesta is like a, it's like I call it like a fruit salad of everything. Fiesta is like
yep,
a party. So
yep,
because it is a party, we turn the lights off, put the disco lights on, but it's a mashup of everything. So it's not just dance. You've got a
yep.
Latin hip hop. So yeah, we just thought even though it's a generic name, but it just fits in so well because it's a combination of things mashed up into 1 hour. So just the whole team came up with it. Just my
Brilliant.
my girls just throwing names at me, and yeah, we
Yep.
even thought about like heels and something like a salsa heel thing. We're like, well, it's not all salsa. So it took us a few months, but it
Yep.
came about,
I like
eventually.
that. I like how organic that is, and it wasn't something that was so structured. I love the fact that you engaged your team to come
Absolutely.
up with something and listened and took that on
Always.
board. I think that's vital, especially with a brand new program, yeah, or a new program that you're
Absolutely.
coming up with. You can't. Well, it's great to actually have the skills yourself, and great to have all of that. As you said, there was someone that grabbed you by the shoulders and shook you and said, "Hey, have you thought about doing this?" You
Mm,
sometimes need to listen to those outside influences to be able to move
absolutely.
forward and progress and get something. So
Absolutely.
nice to know.
Thank you. Thank you. Now the team is very vital. Like for any business or program or anything that you want to do, to have a strong base, and people that to bounce off the ideas of each other. I think it's very, very important because I'm only one person, so
Yeah,
I can only go as far. But to really scale, to get big, you do
yep,
need strong. You need to train. This is why I'm training others, because I would love to one day to have ambassadors. I want
yep,
people to carry on the Club Fiesta and do workshops, overseas. Or this is eventually where I want to head at later on, hopefully slowly, in slow
yep,
incremental steps. So
yep.
yeah, very important.
Brilliant. So, from an instructor side of things,
Yes,
what would I expect rocking up to instructor training? What is
yes.
it? A 1 day course? Is it a 2 day course? Can you talk us through what an instructor will experience going through Club Fiesta training?
Yeah. So once they sign up, they receive the PDF, which is all the training manual. They can read through it, and I always tell them, a few days before, go through it, and then look at the 4 videos that we give you, because we're going to be assessing on 2 of them. So they pick their favorite 2, and then they come to the day. It's a 1 day workshop, so it's about 7.5 hours,
Yep.
and usually on a Sunday. And they start off with introduction. I hand them out a little instructor manual, if you can see it. So
Yep.
this is basically word for word for what I talk about, but obviously when I talk, it's coming from me. But I've sort
Yes.
of
Yep.
summarized it in a manual. So if sometimes when they hear, it's better to see it as well, like just so they can
Yes.
remember it more.
Yep. Yep.
Um, so we talk about history. We talk about, what is Club Fiesta, what you need to do. We cover a lot of things like music, the Club Fiesta formula, and even we talk about a lot about the anatomy of the song, because to know the songs inside it would be how to make it easier for them to learn.
Sure.
the whole playlist, how to access it, how do you progress, connection with people, a lot of things. And in the middle of the workshop, they also have to do a master class, which is myself with my head office team and a live DJ, just to make it a bit more
Oh, wow.
interesting and more big. Yeah, yeah. So
Cool.
it's really, really exciting stuff. And we usually have it open for everyone. So
Yep.
it's not just the instructors. We get all the members, we get all the, all
Brilliant.
around. Yeah.
Yeah.
So just to
Yeah.
make it more of a party atmosphere and like a big class, and just
Yep.
for the energy and the vibes. And then later on in the afternoon, obviously we give them a couple of breaks, and yeah, we cover even we even talk about like empowerment. We talk about when what a lot of instructors go through fatigue, how to get back on track when you're
Yep.
teaching that many classes, how to reignite your confidence, reignite your energy. So I talk a lot about mindset and things like that. And then we do a lot of pre-cueing, advanced visual verbal. So we cover a whole aspects of the basic
Cool.
things of how
Yep.
to become an instructor and get qualified. Towards the end of the session, like the day, we get them to do a few videos so they can, we do it together. So they're not feeling intimidated and they have to remember everything. And
Yep.
these videos, I tell them that I look for like the X factor and cueing, things like that. And at the end of the workshop, we have a little chat. We talk a lot about marketing, social media, just to help them with things like that, because this way
Brilliant.
the way with things are going,
Yep.
insurances, public liability, first aid, CPR, all the stuff that they need to know. And then we qualify them on the day, and they receive their 10 CECs. So, give them their certificates. And then at the end, if they do want to sign up to become an active instructor so they can access all the material. And, because we do provide all the videos, choreography, everything in the instructor
Yep.
portal, that's
Yep.
when they can actually sign up. And then they can sign up the next day if they like. And it's $29 membership, and they can cancel at any time. But to become active and
Okay.
start teaching and learning, they do need to
Yep.
become a member. But they can still do the workshop, and they can still gain the 10 CECs without having to actually sign up and become an active instructor.
Okay.
So they
Yep.
still gain a
Yep.
great deal of, hopefully, knowledge and skills, and the CECs, which a lot of people can find it quite handy to have.
This is the Group X podcast.
So it's just a 1 day course. You said
1 day.
7.5 hours for
Seven
the
and a
1
half
day.
hours, yeah. Depending how many we have, sometimes a bit less, but 7.5 hours in general, so we can cover all material.
Yep.
And and they can obviously sign up online through the
Cool.
website.
Yep.
Hopefully later on they can sign up through your website as well. They
Yep.
can get a
We'll work
great,
on that.
yes, and they can get a
Yes.
great
Yeah.
discount,
Yep.
and or they can head to the website, 1 day course. Get there. It's a really fun day to do,
Yep.
because we do a lot of things, and I don't like them to sit down the whole entire day. I get them to do a lot of
Yeah.
activities and things, and just it's really, really exciting. Yeah, it's really fun.
Brilliant.
Mm.
So it's a 1 day. Now,
Yes.
it's probably a silly question that I'm going to ask, but I'm going
Mhm.
to ask it because I know that in years gone by, and even people I'm chatting to these days, is there a pass or fail? And I know that's an intense question to ask, but and probably some people are going, oh, whatever, yeah. Why would you ask that? But is there a pass and fail?
It is. There is. Yes.
No,
There
look,
is.
look,
It.
look, I'm going to say I think there needs to be. Otherwise, it's just rock up, sit around a campfire, sing kumbaya, and away you go. You've got to get feedback, but you've also got to know that, what, I've just gone and paid X amount of dollars for a course. Did I do it properly, or have they just passed me for the sake of passing me and going, yeah, thanks, I got your money and
We
cut
we
up?
we do have a pass as a trainee. So
Yep.
I
Brilliant.
there is sometimes that's happened a few times where I don't feel that they're ready to become an instructor yet. So I still give them their CEC points, because they've done the whole thing and they've showed the initiative and they gave their best, which I really appreciate that. I don't want to just bye, see you later.
Yeah.
Pass as a
Yep.
trainee, and I want to keep training them, because when
Yep.
if people are committed, they can do it. So, they can pass as a trainee, which means they're not 100% there yet. And I always give them when I give their certificates, I usually email it later on with because I don't do it obviously in front of everyone. I do it privately. And I send them in an email what they did great and the things that they need to work on. So these things, I will revisit it in 3 months' time and we'll do a reassessments. So that's how I go about in doing it.
Hala, is there a license fee that clubs need to pay for Club Fiesta?
No, so there's no club license fee. Basically, the instructor holds their own license. So it's $29 Australian dollars a month, and they can cancel it any time.
As the owner of the organisation, you want to make sure that you're actually delivering a course that you've got quality in it. So if you're passing someone that's not up to speed and is not going to be out there promoting your brand or delivering your brand as you want it to, you're really going to struggle. You know, you're hurting your own brand by not having a pass and a fail in there. So, yeah, to me, I think every course that people do these days should be a pass and fail.
Absolutely.
And if you don't fail, go do it again. Yeah, go do it again. If you really want to do it, go do it again to nail. I mean, I remember going back when I did my Cert 3 back in 2002, I think it was. I had to sit the exam twice.
Oh,
oh
no, Tony.
No. So I had to go back and do it again, but I'm grateful that I did because what I had screwed up, it stuck in my head forevermore. But, you know, that's like, I think any course, if you go and you're not good enough, then you shouldn't be passed.
Well, I believe that especially because we're not big yet, like we're so small and I am, you know, we're quite well known in Perth. And, you know, I want my instructors to be, you know, the best. So obviously they are carrying the brand and it takes one class. It takes one instructor, one person, one member to go to a Club Fiesta class. And if the instructor wasn't cueing or wasn't up to speed or I feel like they're not 100%. Or, I mean, hey, look, no one is 100%. I'm still working. Every day we're always working on something. But like not, you know, the standards that we want it to be, then they will not come back to a Club Fiesta class because they're going to attach the name of Club Fiesta to that instructor. And they're going to go, I went to a Club Fiesta class and that was really crap. And then here is me thinking, you know, it's not worth it. It's absolutely not worth it. So, and the instructors totally, you know, they want that as well. Like if they know that if they're not up to scratch, they, you know, we always talk in the workshop and go, look, Hala, I don't think I can do the best, but I'm going to give it my all. But hey, you know, I'm ready for anything. I'm ready for my result. Give it to me the next day, and it's been quite cool, and I'm quite honest, you know, and but obviously in the nicest way. Obviously we try, but you know, so people are not really put off because it can be quite confronting. This is one of the things that for being a trainer and being an assessor as well can be quite, especially for the people that you've been, you know, they you know quite well, and it's like to give them the feedback. It's how they take it. So it's been a work in progress, but of course, at the end of the day, they all appreciate it, and it's very important to have a pass and a fail. You're absolutely right.
Yeah, and I think a lot of people that are just instructors don't understand the full, I suppose, the full concept of when you actually bring a program out to market, and you have to go through and do your Cert 4 in training and assessing. And all of that kind of stuff. When you're taught how to deliver feedback, you're taught how to do everything that's there. I think a lot of people just think, oh yeah, it's yours. You'll just you'll pass me, or you'll you know, whatever. There's a whole lot of stuff you've got to go through. That's guidelines that you must adhere to with doing that kind of stuff. And I don't think especially a lot of instructors, I don't think understand the full aspect that we go through as people that have you know, the Cert 4 in training and assessing, to make sure that we're delivering our content correctly, but also delivering it so that it's safe, effective, and people are actually getting a result.
Absolutely.
From it as well.
Very true.
That's off to you with that as well, because I know what it takes to go through to do that.
A lot,
as well.
Absolutely, yeah. Because I do believe the program has, you know, it's sometimes when I and I always ask my instructors to send me, sometimes if they're struggling or if I hear some feedback, like send me your playlist. What are you doing? You know, what are you doing in your class? And they send me a playlist, and sometimes I'm like, oh my dear Lord, you like it's, you know, and then I have to rewind and say, hey, look, you need to do this because it's structuring the class. It's really important for Club Fiesta, for it to work, to be effective, to do this and that. Like, 'cause it's, you know, after that many years of experience doing all the kind of fitness exercises, you want people to leave the class feeling something, like
Yes.
really feeling the benefit of it. Not just, I mean, yeah, it's great to have this endorphin boost and things. That's awesome because that's the whole benefit of it. But also, I want them to get the results from
Yep.
being, if and you see it, as yeah, the feedback you get. So it's very important. Absolutely. Yeah.
This is the Group X podcast.
So earlier on, I asked you about the what to expect going into a class.
Yeah.
Can you give us a little bit more information about how many tracks you would have per release, and
Yeah.
is each track inspired with a different style of move, or would you do like 3 tracks in relation to the plyometric type stuff, and then 4 tracks in dance? Can you give us a bit of a rundown on the structure of a class so that we get a little bit more info about that?
Absolutely. So with each class, I always tell everyone. So we do about 15 to 16 tracks. They are short tracks. Some of them can be like 4 minutes long, depending. We use real music. So and we do have the PPCA free version as well. So depending which gym you're at and what music license that you have, whatever playlist, but usually 15 to 16 if you don't do a lot of stops. And I don't do a lot of stops anyway. And then what we do, a very, very important structure, every single class would have a warm-up 1, warm-up 2. Very important to have 2 warm-ups. And then I jump into the plyometrics to get their heart rate up, really, get them energized. And again, we always offer options. So if people don't want to jump or do a burpee, totally fine. And then we go back and do a dance. So that could be like straight after the plyo. So it's a little Latin or hip hop or anything that's a bit slower, or pop music, just more dancey. But again, simple to get the heart rate down. And then we do a boxing track, and that usually will get the heart rate up. And then after the boxing track, we do another Afro or maybe a little bit more international. So something, again, simple to get the heart rate down. And then we do another cardio. So that, again, get the heart rate up. And then we do another dance. So we do that, up, down, up, down, up, down. Because it is the most effective way for people to, not necessarily lose weight, but just to get the benefit and the health. Yeah. And then we do, usually we also do another, so high and then low. So we have Latin, Afro, hip hop. We try and cater and do a whole lot of different genres in the one class. So we kind of cater for everyone. And then we do arms. Could be anything. Sometimes I have an Afro track. Sometimes, most of the time I have like pop or maybe techno or maybe a rave kind of song with the arms, because we are stopping quite often, but we're using, a lot of different kind of styles, arms, toning. So it's more of a toning side of things. And then we do legs. So that's usually a killer squat track. And then we do floor, which could be standing floor. It could be a lying down floor, abs, or on the hands and knees, and we do like booty work, basically a lot of fire hydrants or leg lifts. And then we do stretches at the end. And lately I've been doing about maybe a 4.5 to 5 minute worth of stretches, because this is the feedback I got. People are getting more sore and they're really feeling like they need more stretches during the class. So, and it's really good. It feels amazing. So that's the kind of structure that we do in every class.
Okay. So just to touch on the boxing side of things for me, are you talking shadow boxing? So you're not actually putting gloves on? And
No. No. Yeah, just like a body combat, but it's obviously lesser not as complex, obviously. So, jab crosses, split stances, side shuffle, punches, uppercuts, that kind of thing to the music. All basically choreographed to music. So,
And is there any equipment at all needed for the Club Fiesta classes?
No, but we're working on something in the
okay, stay tuned. You heard that here first, people.
Yes,
you heard that here first.
We're working on a new program that's coming up very, very soon.
Excellent.
So yes, and it's going to be weights based. Probably more dumbbells, but I like it to again be simpler and not close to any other weights program. So it's still work in progress, but it's getting there.
Perfect. Let us know when that one's ready to come out. I'd love to have a chat to you about that one as well.
Definitely will. Thank you.
Share that to the world and let them know.
Thank you.
Oh, brilliant. Cool. Yeah. If instructors want to jump on to do training, what's the best way for them to find out when training is on, and also when is the next training available?
So the next training is actually this coming Sunday, at
Brilliant.
Craig. Yeah, so the 28th of May at Craigie Leisure Centre, and it's going to be from 10:30 till 5:30 with live DJ at 12 o'clock. The masterclass is open for everyone.
Yep.
And they can jump into our website. So it's clubfiesta.com.au and just go to become an instructor and or even events. So the book a class or become an instructor, all the events are there.
Brilliant.
Starting from, before the 28th of May, and then all the Queensland ones are there as well. So we've
Cool. So you got some training coming up in Queensland too.
Yes. So,
Okay.
yeah, that's the beginning of June. So we've got one in the 4th of June at it's going to be at Mermaid Waters in the Gold Coast, and
Brilliant.
the following Sunday on the 11th of June at Carina Heights in Good Life, and that's in Brisbane as well. Brisbane.
Great.
So, yeah. Very, very
Okay, so we
exciting.
need to get you down here in New South Wales as well somewhere.
Love to.
Yep.
We have one person actually who is doing Club Fiesta. Tracy from Freedom Fitness, I think it's called Freedom Fitness, but they're in Sydney.
Yep.
Yeah, so Sydney,
Brilliant.
right? Yeah.
Yeah.
So they're doing it there and they're loving it, but we need more people, obviously. So
Okay.
yes, so they can head to the website and they can sign up there. We do have an online training. And we also actually Zoom people in. So if anyone,
Okay.
we did that a few times where when we do the face-to-face workshops here in Perth, we Zoom people from Sydney, Melbourne, Gold Coast or Brisbane. So they have that opportunity as well. And that all the same bookings and everything.
Look, I think that's wonderful. Knowing from my days from Les Miller's when there were regional people that, had spent $3,500 just to try and get to a training session.
Yeah, no.
These days with technology, I think it's amazing that you can use it and, people don't need to spend that amount of money. They can jump online, especially in a course that doesn't require equipment to train with.
Absolutely.
And they can jump onto Zoom and do it that way. I think you've nailed something there. You've tapped into something in our market, in the industry, I should say, that I think we need to see more and more of.
Thank you.
To help people out. So well done for that.
Thank you very much. Very exciting. And we just recently launched the online version as well, which means basically I'm talking to the camera. So we have a completely online, 100% online training as well. And that's also in the website. So people that don't want to Zoom in, they can literally sit there. And I'm just still working on the CEC points. So it's slightly less because it is lesser time. That's how they go about. But exactly same thing, exactly same material, all 100% online. So again, very, very exciting. So that hopefully will help.
Now, another question which I just popped into my head then when we started talking about online stuff.
Yeah.
Do you actually stream classes via Zoom or anything online at the moment, or is that something that instructors are able to do with the music and with the format? Because I know that with some licensing agreements that are out there with One Music and that kind of stuff, some people are allowed to, some people aren't allowed to. Correct. Is it something with Club Fiesta the instructors can teach and stream the class through a portal like Zoom or something like that?
Absolutely can. So it's via Zoom. They can absolutely do, the live classes, as long as it's their live streaming, so that's perfectly fine. As long as they've got their own music license, which is, we normally use One Music if they're using original. But if they don't have One Music license or they choose not to, they can use the PPCA free. And that's also totally fine. So they can use either their Power Music or, so we've got that available for them. So they have a choice to. So they can, I don't personally do. I do that from time to time to reach all these people that can't come to my classes, for everyone else. So especially Facebook Live, I use PPCA free because Facebook Live, if they hear original music, they start, the Facebook police, they start shutting it down. No matter how much licenses you have, they'll keep shutting it down. And so it's a nightmare. So I just go with the PPCA free. But they can. There's a guy in he's in the Gold Coast. I think he does some live classes, but a lot of it is 100% online. So he teaches Club Fiesta. He teaches all head classes. He's I don't know if you've heard of him, Hala Fitness. He's awesome, Stephen.
Okay.
Yeah, so he teaches Club Fiesta from the Gold Coast, and he reaches a whole lot of people to New Zealand, to the UK. So you can absolutely do that if you choose to.
Great.
For me, nothing beats live though. The
true.
the feedback and the energy.
Yeah. Nothing will ever take away the experience of
No,
a
and
live
I
class and
hope
being
that
an
doesn't happen,
instructor
that
in
we
front of
don't
you.
get replaced by robots or AIs. God
Nah,
help us.
not in our industry. No way. No way. I don't think that'll ever happen.
Oh,
Not at
good. I
all.
hope not.
No.
Yeah, so very exciting stuff. Absolutely.
And
Yes.
is there a message or is there something that you wanted to more share about Club Fiesta that we haven't touched on
I
yet?
think what makes this is just very generic. I just want to share, you know, being an instructor. This is just coming from an instructor point of view. Is I would say is one of the could be one of the hardest jobs in the world, but one of the most rewarding jobs in the world. You know, a lot of us don't get paid as much, to be honest with you, but we love
Yep.
it. So, and this is why we do it. We keep doing it. I will say to anyone who's listening or anyone who feels like sometimes, you know, basically, a lot of times we feel really tired or whatever we go through in life. As soon as you step into that class, we are serving people. We are there for the members. We are there to, you know, to give. We are givers and we're natural givers. So believe in yourself as others believe in you. Because I talk to a lot of instructors and they all go, oh, you know, I went in and I just felt like this and I'm not sure I can do this. And this is not just Club Fiesta, any other programs.
Yep.
Like it goes in
Yes.
all. And I just tell them, I don't know if you can see this, but I always share this with my, is this upside down?
No, it's
Remember,
perfect.
is it okay? So I
Yeah.
always show them the success cycle. So I
Yep.
always say, like, if you believe in your potential, then
Yep.
this will lead to an awesome action. And then
Yep.
your action will lead to the results. And then the
Yep.
results will lead to your belief and your certainty or
Yep.
uncertainty. So
Yep.
I always tell my instructors to go back to that circle because if,
Perfect.
you know, believing in yourself, you feel like, oh my God, it doesn't matter. I'm going to do an amazing class no matter what day I've had. And you are changing people's lives one class at a time, without a doubt. There's so many people that have had come back to me and say that they've stopped taking the anti-anxiety tablets, stopped taking the antidepressants. They are much happier with their husbands, you know, even though sometimes their husband goes, why are you so grumpy? Just go to Club Fiesta, you know, and they, so then, and then they come back all happy, you know, because it releases the endorphins. They feel good
Yep.
because we give,
Yep.
it's not just dance. We, you know, and a lot of times people came to me and say, Hala, I've had a really rough day with the kids. Can you give us more boxing tracks? I'm like, yeah, sure. Why not?
Yep.
So they
Yep.
just like smash it out and it's just brilliant. So, you know, coming to class, you're not just there for you, even though you are. I mean, you are, but you are
Yep.
there for them. So you got to think of others and believe in yourself to deliver,
Yep.
and you will be amazing, incredible. If you just believe, and you shall achieve. I just wanted to say this message because
No,
I
look,
hear a lot of that from people.
I think it's fantastic. It's one of those things that as a Group X instructor for many years, you walk into that room, switch off everything else that's going on, be present, be there in the moment, be there with your members, be 100% you. But if you've just had an argument with someone 20 minutes ago or whatever the hell it is, don't bring it into your class because the 20, 30, 50, it doesn't matter how many people, anyone that's in front of you does not want to know the garbage that's going on in your life. They are there for that 100% for you, for the program, for the workout, and you need to deliver and be on point. So the success circle you were just talking about then, yeah, I think is absolutely perfect and nail it for instructors out there. Don't bring your garbage, don't bring your baggage, don't bring any of it in with you.
Yeah.
You're in there to do a job, do it, be there. And I'll guarantee, as you said too, guarantee that as soon as they do it, they'll walk away from that class and whether it's 5, 10, 15, an hour, whatever it may be, they're going to feel amazing because of what they went in and delivered and got the endorphins running.
Absolutely.
Yep. And it allows you to, if there was crap going on before class, it allows you to look at it in a different light.
In a better perspective.
well.
Absolutely. You'll
Yeah.
deal with it better. You'll deal with your problems
Yeah.
better. You know, once you set your mind right, it's all about the state of mind. I mean, yeah, you know, it is physical. It is, you know, sometimes, yes, it's all about being fit and healthy, but, you know, it all starts from the mind. And if your mind is not there, then I always tell my instructor to do something crazy, like physically. Like there's a lot of times I felt really crap and I go into the class and I just went like this. I just shook my head around, shook my arms around. Still no one saw me because they were like, oh, chit-chatting. Sometimes you go to class and they're crazy. And I went in, I took the mic and I went, hello, and they were like, what the hell? And I was like, hey, you just do something crazy with your voice or your body, and that will allow, it's almost like tricking your brain to wake up, to go, oh, so it's just being in control. But if one thing doesn't work, try the other thing. There's always a way. When there's a will, there's a way. So
No, I love that.
Being present is, like you nailed it. Being present is the absolute ultimate for being a Fiesta instructor, not just Fiesta, any instructor, any group fitness instructor. So yeah, that's it.
Brilliant. Hala, thank you so much for coming on the show and sharing with us what Club Fiesta is all about and how instructors can get involved and what it is for clubs as well. I've thoroughly enjoyed getting to know you and understanding that process. So thank you so much.
Thank you very much, Tony. Thank you so much for having me.